Palamedes, offspring of the shrewd king Nauplius, entered life not endowed with Hercules' might or Achilles' rage, but possessing one of the keenest intellects throughout Greece. Amid a realm ruled by brawn, javelins, and battle roars, he emerged as the embodiment of insight and logic. From youth, he earned praise for his extraordinary cleverness, his knack for settling quarrels, and his flair for devising innovations. He embodied a champion who refrained from grasping a blade as an initial choice, yet his tactical foresight could shift a conflict's tide. Nevertheless, his tale lacks the imprint of triumphant festivities or monuments raised to his glory. It narrates the journey of a prudent figure in a savage era, a protagonist muted not by Trojan foes, but by the jealousy of his fellow comrades. Palamedes' sorrow stems not solely from his demise, but from the obscurity that ensued thereafter. Hailing from Euboea's isle, Palamedes inherited a venerable heritage, sired by Nauplius, a seasoned seafarer and monarch versed in oceanic crafts. Early on, though, it became clear that Palamedes would transcend the role of a mere noble heir. As peers honed skills with blades and guards, he found delight in the enigmas of constellations, figures, language, and the subtle harmony within plain objects. Endowed with a luminous and inquisitive spirit, his peers hailed him as the creator of Greek alphabet characters, number systems, and even pastimes like dice and checkers, which doubled as amusement and mental drills for warriors. Within martial domains, his input proved just as precious. He devised methods for distributing provisions, scheduling duties, and relaying messages in the Greek encampment, a quiet yet crucial transformation during wartime. Yet Palamedes faced a formidable adversary, equal in guile and his personal nemesis, named Odysseus, Ithaca's ruler. The friction igniting their enmity flared before Greek vessels embarked toward Troy. When Paris abducted Helen, Ithaca's sovereign, famed for unconventional wisdom, sought to evade the oath of Tyndareus, a vow binding Helen's suitors to defend her selected spouse. Odysseus, freshly wed to Penelope and father to a newborn, harbored no wish to forsake his homeland for a strife that, to him, appeared fueled more by vanity than duty. In a frantic ploy, he feigned insanity. Yoking an ox and donkey to a plow, he tilled fields with salt, staging a bizarre and foolish spectacle, as though reason had fled him. However, Palamedes, ever vigilant to minute clues and doubtful of Ithaca's king's timely lunacy, resolved to probe his lucidity with a chill verging on cruelty. He positioned young Telemachus, Odysseus's child, right before the plow. Were he genuinely mad, the pretended lunatic would trample the infant without pause. Yet Odysseus halted the advance at once, undone by fatherly impulse. The ruse unraveled. The veil of madness dropped, birthing a bitter grudge between them. Public disgrace scarred Odysseus's dignity beyond repair. Though forced to join the Greek venture, he never absolved Palamedes for unveiling his charade before monarchs and champions. From then, a hushed contention sprouted, nourished by resentment, bruised esteem, and suspicion. To Palamedes, it was simply an obligation to uphold the pack's integrity and the Greek mission. To Odysseus, it constituted a personal slight, an affront to his intellect and autonomy. Like any wound poorly mended, a strain would swell until it spilled into calamity. During the protracted and draining siege at Troy's gates, Palamedes swiftly rose as a cornerstone of Greek command. While numerous warriors excelled through vigor or godly descent, he shone via his calculated acumen and capacity to preserve calm amid turmoil. His concepts reshaped the blockade into a more unified endeavor, sparing lives and boosting troop effectiveness. Among fighters, he garnered esteem. Among rulers, admiration mingled often with envy. He was a person who rendered effortless what others dared not contemplate. But his radiance started to irk. Odysseus, though likewise renowned for wit, perceived Palamedes' innate aptitude as a persistent peril. Accolades of sagacity, once nearly sole to Ithaca's lord, now split with another. Beyond sharing, they were frequently credited only to Palamedes. Whispers that he ought to steer councils over Agamemnon stirred among Greek leaders. Such gossip sparked wrath in Agamemnon, who had relinquished much to secure his rank as supreme basileus. Greece's ultimate overseer, used to being the hub of judgments and reverence, grew uneasy as Palamedes' charm and proficiency overshadowed his dominion. Palamedes spoke plainly, settled conflicts without force, and, to ordinary troops, seemed a truer guide than Mycenae's own king. Common folk heeded him. Soldiers trailed him. Chiefs dreaded him. Odysseus, ever crafty, cloaked his spite beneath grins and kind phrases. Yet backstage, he schemed with Agamemnon. Steadily he stoked rumors, planted uncertainties, and waited, akin to one biding time to thrust a blade. Palamedes, trusting in his uprightness, missed the dark veils amassing around him. His chief flaw was presuming war could be won purely by sense and fairness, not foreseeing that, among his own ranks, lurked toxins deadlier than any Trojan shaft. Swayed by conceit and unease, Agamemnon succumbed to the doubts Odysseus sowed. Thus, a scheme unfolded in hush. They crafted a missive, penned under Priam, Troy's king, ostensibly sent to Palamedes. Its words hinted at betrayal. For gold and refuge, the Greek hero would yield military confidences to the adversary. To bolster the forgery's weight, Trojan riches were stashed beneath Palamedes' tent, ensuring the charge bore an undeniable mark. Come morning, the tent faced a search. The letter rang out loud before the chiefs. The treasure surfaced. Palamedes, caught off guard, strove to protest fiercely, but no just hearing or voice was granted. Odysseus stayed mute, feigning grief. Agamemnon upheld the truth of the claim with his office's clout. No other kings ventured to step in. Jealousy and spite prevailed. In his final utterance, he declared no dread of death, but pity for truth, which would perish afore him. Denied a plea, the camp's wisest soul was sentenced to death for treachery. Thus Palamedes met his end, stoned by his own kin. No Trojan lance grazed him. He fell not to foes, but to allies' unfairness. Palamedes' passing was more than an outrage. It gashed the Achaeans' honor wide. Yet amid the hero's complicit quiet, one refused to let such a wrong pass unanswered. Nauplius, father of the doomed. Hearing of his son's stoning, the aged king shed no tears before his court, nor rent his robes as other sires might. Instead, he vowed retribution. Nauplius spread tales of the lavish existence kings led in Troy, with fresh captives they deemed as mates, thus rousing wives to betray their spouses ere their war return. Among them stood Clytemnestra, Agamemnon's bride, who would slay her lord upon his homecoming. Each deceit, each ruin, each shattered hearth became, to Nauplius, a tacit tribute to his wronged offspring's memory. Nauplius grasped he could not muster forces against the kings who betrayed his son. Yet he mastered the lore of shores and harbors, fickle gales, and celestial guides of vessels. His vendetta lingered unfinished, so he bided time. When Troy's war concluded and Greek ships sailed homeward, he awaited them on marine trails. With deceptive beacons lit atop perilous coastal crags, he misled Agamemnon's fleet and others, drawing crafts to fatal wrecks. The hulls splintered on rocks. As years rolled by, Palamedes faded from war's formal chronicles. Bards lauded Achilles' exploits, Odysseus' ploys, Priam's woes. But Palamedes? His name folk shunned to speak. His recollection proved too troubling, his lot too ignominious for victors to extol. The hero who lent order, logic, and kindness to Troy's encirclement dwindled to a shade history forgot. His saga resounds as a caution. Justice among mortals suffices not. One must also endure their conceits. The hero who tutored Greek to tally, scribe, and ponder was undone by those unable to stomach being outdone in merit. While many Greek heroes gained renown for conquests, Palamedes endures through his collapse, a fall unveiling war's grim visage, where the direst foe, at times, stands not ahead, but beside us.